Get yourself a box or boxes of Magic Spoon cereal by going to magicspoon.com/49ers report. When you're there, you get $5 off at checkout. I'm about to crush a bowl before today's show. Coming up on today's show, the Niners have cut 5 players to get their roster down to 85 players per league rules. Also, injury updates on Nick Bosa and Trent Williams. But first, Niner Gang. This is your go-to spot for all of the best 49ers coverage right here on YouTube. So smash that subscribe button down below or go to youtube.com/49ers TV. Let's get to 40K subs. So per league rules, the Niners have cut 5 players to get their roster down to 85. A week from today, they're going to have to trim 5 more players off the team to get down to 80. And then the big one, 53-man roster cuts August 31st, prior to the Niners kicking off the 2021 NFL season against the Detroit Lions in Week 1. Here are the players that the Niners have cut. Some of these transactions took place on Monday. The last one, Josh Perkins, just took place a couple minutes ago. Ken Webster, the cornerback, is cut. James Burgess, an offseason acquisition and a camp body, has also been let go. Donald Payne, a journeyman linebacker, no longer going to be with the Niners. Either is Eddie Vanderdoes, a defensive lineman, and Josh Perkins, who replaced Doug Peterson's son a couple of weeks ago, is also going to be let go. The theme here is that all of these players have been cut from positions of depth, and all of these position groups really, really deep. So let's start off by looking at the cornerback depth chart and the defensive back depth chart now that Webster has been let go. Still riding with the starters, Emmanuel Mosley, K'Wan Williams, Jimmy Ward, Wilson, and Verrett. And my big takeaway from the Niners preseason opener against the Chiefs was how well some of these rookie draft picks in that secondary played. Ambry Thomas, Diamador Lenore, as well as Talanoa Hufanga. They filled a couple of different roles depending on the player. For Hufanga, he was playing safety, linebacker, special teams. Thomas and Lenore played well, Lenore coming through with a pick. And I think because those rookies played well, you're able to have a little bit more freedom when making these roster trimmings. As for the linebackers, really a good unit here. Azeez Al-Shaair coming off that knee injury, set to be back at practice this week. That's a very good sign for this Niners defense. You gave Fred Warner the All-Pro, that contract extension, making him the highest paid linebacker in the NFL before Darius Leonard of the Colts overtook him. I thought Warner was going to set the market there. And then Dre Greenlaw has been a stud for this defense over the last few years, your other starter. Marcel Harris, the player to watch here because he was a former defensive back who now has been playing linebacker, and I think that hybrid role serves him well as the defense, and I thought he did some solid things against the Chiefs. Defensive line, maybe the deepest position group on this defensive side of the football. Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, who is injured. We'll get to that here in just a bit on today's show. DJ Jones and Nick Bosa, your starters. And then after that, D Ford, as he continues to get healthy, your backup at the edge spot, Samson Ebukam, set to return to practice. I kind of like the offseason acquisitions of Mo Hurst and Arden Key. Key graded as one of the highest players, according to Pro Football Focus, against the Chiefs in that preseason opener. So you can afford to get rid of a guy like Vanderdoes because he wasn't going to make this roster anyway, and per league rules, you had to get this roster down to 85. Shifting over to tight ends because Josh Perkins has been let go. George Kittle is one of the best in the entire league. Ross Dwelly, Charlie Warner going to battle it out for the tight end 2 and the tight end 3 spots for sure. But here's what you have to keep an eye on here. Mychal Pruitt, who has been injured, soft tissue injury, set to come back to practice as well. Jordan Matthews, I thought was very, very good against the Chiefs. Converted wide receiver to tight end, went to tight end university with Kittle throughout this offseason, worked out with him, gained a lot of pounds. 30 pounds to bulk up so that he could play the tight end spot. Blocked well, freed up JaMychal Hasty for that touchdown run late in the game, had a good yards after the catch run and looked good in running those routes, and also made a couple of plays on special teams. You see Josh Perkins on your screen right now. He is now out because he has been cut as part of these roster moves. More moves to get to. Austin Watkins broke his foot against the Chiefs on Saturday night, really played through it. Impressive. UDFA out of UAB, a big-bodied wide receiver early on in non-padded 11-on-11s. Watkins got a couple of snaps with that first-team offense. I didn't make much of it, but he did impress during rookie minicamp as well as OTAs before they got canceled. And because he's going down with a broken foot out for the next 6 to 8 weeks, the hope here is that he clears waivers and then he can be put on the practice squad by the 49ers. A lot of 49ers roster moves on today's show. Speaking of the Niners, are you a ride or die Niner fan? Part of the Niner gang, the Niner Empire, one of the greatest fan bases in all of sports. If you are a ride or die Niners fan, get into the comments section and simply type me. Let me know that Niner faithful is showing out. You're pumped up for this upcoming season, a season in which the Niners have Super Bowl aspirations. Type me in the comments section. 49ers Report is made possible today thanks to our friends at Magic Spoon. Growing up, and even in my early 20s, I ate a lot of cereal. The problem is my metabolism in my early 20s, not as fast as it was when I was a kid. And because of that, I got really fat. And I had to get rid of cereal in my diet. Now I've reintroduced it thanks to Magic Spoon. Because unlike those traditional brands, this is actually healthy cereal that's delicious and it's good for you. Why? High in protein, keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, wheat-free, naturally flavored, totally delicious. And the thing about Magic Spoon that I really like is because I take my diet seriously, natural ingredients. Per serving, you get around 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, which isn't even paling in comparison to some of those crappy brands out there, and only 4 grams of net carbs. You want to try it? We got you with $5 off. MagicSpoon.com/49ers Report. Get that cereal purchased so that you can enjoy a hearty bowl of cereal that is also good for you. Notable nuggets to get to in terms of the Niners as training camp rolls on and the Niners set to take on the Chargers in week 2 of the preseason on Sunday. The Mychal Kendricks signing, which happened after the Chiefs game on Saturday night, has been made official. Kyle Shanahan saying that Kendricks is going to come in, be a camp body, and provide competition. We'll see if he cracks the 53-man roster. If nothing else, this is a guy who's had a very successful career, part of the Eagles Super Bowl team in 2017, made a lot of plays on that defense, was a critical component of that defense. So at the very least, you have a accomplished veteran coming in to provide competition at the linebacker spot. Maybe he can contribute on special teams as well. Samson Ebukam, one of the more underrated signings throughout the free agency period for the Niners, coming over to the Niner gang from the Los Angeles Rams, is back. Really excited to see what he can do coming off of Brandon Staley's defense going into D'Amico Ryans' defense. I think he's going to be a hybrid guy coming off the edge who can play a little linebacker, and I expect his numbers to certainly soar. Azeez Al-Shaair, he's been hampered by this lingering knee issue back at practice. Javon Kinlaw going to be week to week. He injured his shoulder last week, and Kyle Shanahan basically said we'll see what happens with him over the next week or two. Not expected to be all that serious, but Javon Kinlaw, a prime breakout candidate. I'd love to see him on the field and healthy for the Niners week 1 of the season, so be conservative because I think he could be a stud. As for Nick Bosa, stay tuned on that. We'll have more on Nick Bosa coming up. Trent Williams in practice on Tuesday. Kyle Shanahan saying he's going to be out at least for today, maybe for the next couple of days. This isn't expected to be all that serious, but Trent Williams is dealing with knee soreness. He left practice early on Monday, not practicing on Tuesday. Obviously, a huge re-signing for the Niners in free agency, the highest paid left tackle in the league. You need him on this offense because as we saw on Saturday against KC, the offensive line depth without him and Alex Mack was a disaster. He's the best left tackle in the league. Take this seriously. Be precautious about it. Knee soreness, nothing you want to mess around with. Speaking of knees and very critical players on this Niners defense, Nick Bosa, expected to be a full participant next week in practice as he continues to recover from a torn ACL in which he suffered against the Jets in the Meadowlands last September. Shanahan saying on Monday that Nick Bosa expected to make a full return next week. He has participated in some individual drills, as well as going up against the sled, doing things like that on the side. Nick Bosa has not been cleared and has not participated in team drills just yet, but that is expected to take place next week. And the expectation all along from Kyle Shanahan and Nick Bosa's camp is that one of the best edge rushers, one of the most dominant forces coming off the edge, attacking opposing quarterbacks, expected to be ready and expected to play in week 1 when the Niners kick off the season against the Detroit Lions. Huge news for this defense if Bosa is able to stay healthy. His 2019 campaign as a rookie was incredible, helping lead this Niners defense to not only a record-breaking campaign, but helping them get to the Super Bowl, where he was definitely held a bunch of times against the Chiefs, but those whistles remained silent. Skeptical, for sure. Nick Bosa in 2019 as a rookie, though, 47 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, 9 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. This guy wreaks havoc. This guy causes problems. This guy changes the complexions of games. Niners depth chart, I think, is in a very good spot. And because Armstead has been held out at times, because Ebukam has not been practicing of late, because Kinlaw's been a little banged up, and Nick Bosa hasn't participated in team drills just yet. The second team defensive line of D. Ford, Contavious Street, Givens, Ebukam, Willis, Hurst, Kerr, Arden Key, they've been getting a lot of reps, but also they've been producing very well, and I thought they were pretty good on Saturday night against KC. So Niner gang, before we dip out of here, hey, I want your feedback here. Predict it for us, and we'll see if those predictions are right. Is Nick Bosa going to play in week 1 against the Lions, going after Jared Goff? Type P for play, type S for sit. Get those votes in the comment section down below. Niner gang, if you made it this far, hopefully you like what we're doing here at Chat Sports. Subscribe to the channel for the best 49ers coverage right here on YouTube and the entire internet. We hit you with the latest news and rumors, breaking news. Niners just announced all these 5 cuts to get down to 85. We got you with a video within the hour. YouTube.com/49erstv, or hit that red subscribe button down below. Speaking of subscribing, we did our first watch party here on the channel on Saturday. Myself, Harrison Graham, who's also the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Report, a massive success. Almost 40,000 people joined us throughout the night. Join us on Sunday for another watch party as the Niners take on the Chargers. Justin Herbert going up against this defense. Trey Lance expected to get a lot of action. Game time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. 4:30 Pacific. We'll probably go live around 7:15 Eastern. So subscribe, turn on those notifications, hang out. It's going to be a party. Live scoreboard, play-by-play, a bunch of beers, Q&A. You don't want to miss it.